Good morning, everybody in the entire world. It's time for us to start our grand adventure up to Glacier National Park, Montana. Yeah. Self, check. Bike, check. Riding homie, check. His bike, check. Nothing left to do but go explore the country. And here we are in the wonderful wasteland of Prim, Nevada. It's a very icy 111 degrees, which is perfect for riding, wouldn't you agree? Oh yeah, feeling great. We should just stay here, you know? Screw Glacier. Oh, all right, we made it to Mesquite. That was like 350 miles. Last leg was not cool. I think it was like 115 degrees, just punishing heat. It's 8 a.m. It's about 90 to 95 degrees out. How's that AC, guys?
Nice and cool. Unlike your attitude.
How hot's it supposed to be today, B-Rye?
Over 100.
Yeah, well, it'll be a nice, cool 70 degrees in here.
A nice brisk 70 degrees. It's actually 90 degrees outside right now, so.
I don't like either of you. Okay, so we made it to Fish Lake. Beautiful out here. Kill the bugs, kill the bugs, fuck the bugs. So long to Utah, hello to Idaho. Wide open farmland plains. Just ticked over 1,000 miles for the whole trip. Next stop, Yellowstone. Yellowstone.
He's ready for a soak.
Okay, just got to Missoula, Montana. We're over 1,500 miles away from Los Angeles and counting. It was kind of a rough ride. Drove straight into the sun, and so my eyeballs kind of hurt, but had a bunch of water. And we're here. Oh, he did well. He did well. This is the man that just booked this place. Check this out. There's some questionable people hanging around here, but other than that, got a little jacuzzi, little pool.
great.
So the tricky thing about camping in the middle of the pandemic is that nothing is fucking open. I remember calling Glacier and asking if they had any camping. They said, well, we have 4 campsites. 3 of them are closed because of the pandemic, and the one that's open is booked for the next 6 months. I'm like, oh, great. So what do I do? And they said, you can camp at a spot outside the park. I looked up 4 different parks that were first come, first serve. I knew they were obviously going to fill up quickly. So I decided to volunteer myself to wake up at the crack of dawn and go scout for a campsite. All right, that was pretty tough finding a site. Got the last one that's available, and now I got it made in the shade. I'm gonna take a nap in this hammock. Been up for quite some time, so it's pretty bright out there now, nice and sunny. Of course, now that I'm off the bike, it's nice and sunny. This is Montana, and this is Doris Creek Campground, right on the water. And so, after a good night's rest full of whiskey, food, and a campfire, we were off to see the park we set out to see on this trip. We make our way to the park, flashed our America the Beautiful annual pass. Pro tip, by the way, this thing costs $80 for the year to get into pretty much any national park in the US. Considering a day pass to Glacier is $35 in the summer, which is when we went, the pass quickly pays for itself if you go to any national park more than twice. Highly recommended if you're road tripping and planning on hitting up multiple parks. Anyways, from Southern California all the way up to Northern Montana, we finally made it to one of the most beautiful national parks in the United States, Glacier National Park. am in Idaho. Dude, you ever seen a giraffe that big before? Good morning from Salmon, Idaho. It is about 6:15, 6:20 in the morning. I'm still pretty hazy from the smoke from California fires, all the way up in Idaho. Anyways, I'm getting an early start because today I'm going to Salt Lake City, and on the other side of this trip is my brother. So this is interesting. About to leave for Salt Lake. Here's all the gear I have on because the temperature is about 55, 60, something like that. Got my neck gaiter, got my jacket, I got a sweater on underneath the jacket, I got my warm pants on, got my boots on. Watch how this changes throughout the day. Temperature has jumped up quite a bit with the sun. I'd say it's around 70 degrees now. Got really cold on that first leg. I think there were a few times when I could see my breath. So probably got down in the low 40s. It was fucking cold for a minute. Got my thinner gloves on now. No sweater underneath. No extra set of pants. And I'm putting on the sun visor to block out the sun. Air quality is unhealthy. You can see how hazy it is. I'm in Salt Lake City at my brother's house. I had to take off the inner layer of this. It got up to 90 degrees. So I think it went from like 40 to 90 from this morning until now. Crazy, right? So I'm not sure if you're close with your brothers or your sisters or your mom or your dad. If you're not, I'm sorry. I hope you guys can work it out. Unless they're jerks, then maybe just love them from a distance. But I'm really tight with my whole family. So I had to break away from the group to spend a little extra time with my brother because he's really important to me. And it was nice to take a little cruise with him. Even though he wasn't joining me on our next destination, he rode with me for a good 50 or 60 miles, which was very nice. Which kind of brings me into one of the great lessons I learned on this whole trip, is that time is something we really can't get back. And I knew that in theory, I knew that logically, but when you're on this trip going from place to place and from state to state, you realize, I mean, first of all, you have a lot of time to think, and you just realize that time is the thing that you can't get back. You can get money back. You can get your material possessions back. You can get things back, but you can't get time back. Once it's gone, it's gone. So you have to use the time that you have. We have to use the time that we have on this planet to do the things we want to do, to see the people we want to see, because it's going to be over before we know it. Here we are in Delta. This is either Nevada or Utah, I'm not sure. But we are headed to the Great Basin National Park, which I'm assuming is a basin that is pretty great and big. Starting to get hot again, getting towards the desert. Less green, more of that. Here's my little setup, my tent. Nothing glamorous, but got the regular sleeping bag, which is good till I think 35 degrees, 30 degrees. And the key to staying warm at night for me is this extra layer right here. It's like a sleeping bag you put inside the sleeping bag. Really lets your body heat just reflect and reflect and reflect. And got my has a bear on it. All the packs in the corner here, and I'll put my toothbrush and stuff over here. Oh, and I have this little cot, which is nice, because instead of sleeping on the ground here, which wouldn't be very comfortable, I'm kind of, you can see I'm suspended just above the ground, which is nice for avoiding sore muscles and, you know, getting wet and cold if you're laying on the ground. It's just nice to be a little suspended. Always good when you're camping. Hey guys, are you feeling okay? Need some emergency weed? You okay?
No.
Don't worry, he's here. Where are we?
Nowhere.
Middle of nowhere.
130 miles outside of Vegas, somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Somewhere in Nevada, right?
Yeah. Yup.
Cool rock formations.
Yeah, cool nuts formations too. These nuts formations.
Yeah. Cool clouds. We are about 30 miles outside Vegas, heading back, getting home. It is a crispy and cool and satisfying 106 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
Nevada.
And we love it. Okay, this is it. Home stretch. We are in Vegas. It is about 6:30 in the morning. Probably about 80 something degrees right now.
85.
It's not bad. We got the very, very nice continental breakfast. Oh yeah. It's just time to hit the road and get back home. Kind of sad it's over already. It happened pretty quick. You know, the first few days seemed to take like a week, but then after that, it just sped up, and all of a sudden, it's over. So, it's over.